Hey gang, this is Tarelther here, and this is my take on Ilanya, the Dark Elf Sorceress in Warhammer Online, Wrath of Heroes. Ilanya is a magic caster. She stands in the back, she blows things up, and she does it extremely well. Ilanya's passives are Impending Doom. This stacks up to 10 times, increases Ilanya's critical chance by 10% per stack. Some abilities will spend the stacks of Impending Doom once she crits. Her other passive is Empowered. Her damage is increased by 5% for every other Dark Elf character in the group. This is why you see a lot of Ilanya stacking to take advantage of this passive. Ilanya's one is Doombolt. It deals a small amount of damage, it has no cooldown, and it stacks up Impending Doom. Her 2 ability is Gloomburst. It deals much more damage, but it will consume her stacks of Impending Doom when it crits. Use this to finish off a player. Word of Pain is a dot. Okay, it also deals damage equal to what Gloomburst does after 7 seconds of being applied. It has a 10-second cooldown. Also notice that critical hits from this, either the dot or the ending effect, will not remove Impending Doom. Ilyanya's 4 is Power of Darkness. On a 20-second cooldown, it deals the most damage in one shot of any of your abilities, and it knocks the target upward. I tend to use this more defensively because, you can't do damage dead, but if you're wanting to burst somebody down, you can definitely use this to do that. Ilanya's 5 is Shadow Blades. It's on a 30-second cooldown. It deals 140 damage over 2 seconds and grants 5 charge of Impending Doom each time it deals damage. You can hit other abilities while the Shadow Blades are ticking. So this is how you'll set up your burst, and once you finish your initial burst, you'll be able to keep your stacks of Impending Doom while you go into your Doombolt into Word of Pain rotation, at least with the masteries I'm going to show you here. For masteries, I take Brute Force, 10% bonus critical damage. If I'm going to take a perk, I'm going to put it here instead, because the other 2 are actually pretty important from what I've seen for keeping your damage high. The next one I take is Murderous Shadows. It's going to cause Shadow Blades to last for an additional second. It allows you to hit 2 abilities during Shadow Blades and still have your stacks left at the end of the channel for your Doombolt and Word of Pain rotation. Without this, you won't have any. And the last one is Doom Burst. While you have any stacks of Impending Doom, Doom Burst does 50% more damage. With Doom Burst and Brute Force equipped, your Word of Pain ticks hitting at the same time as your Doombolt. It'll do approximately 100-110 damage per global cooldown. This makes you very, very hard to deal with. So let's go into a match, and we'll go ahead and put all this together here. I'm going to go ahead and pick Ilanya, and we'll go ahead and run out and see what's going on here. I actually crashed getting into this game. So I'm just going to come back in. I'm going to see, okay, pretty standard setup here. Everybody's gotten a flag, and it looks like there's about to be a brawl in the middle, which we have already lost. So I'm going to go over to the south flag here, and I'm going to see there's a Volric there. The optimal burst rotation to set up, you're going to go Word of Pain, 1 Doombolt. You're going to go Shadow Blades, Power of Darkness, Doom Burst. That was approximately 900 damage compressed into 3 seconds, and you notice I still have my stacks of Impending Doom. If there were other enemies to fight here, my Word of Pain is back. I'd pick one, put Word of Pain on it, and then I would just spam Doombolt until my Shadow Blades is back up, and then we do that all over again, rinse and repeat. Usually the only exception to this is if I need to use my 4 as a knock-up defensively. So here's later in that same match. I'm going to do the same thing to this Glogob here, except I'm not going to use the Doombolt this time here, but it works out being the same result there. Usually I like to put the Doombolt in just so I can time it a little bit better, and then we'll just start cleaning up the rest of the kills here.
Attack!
I try not to waste a word of pain though. Usually if I get 2 ticks of it off, I'll consider that worth it. But any less than that, you usually want to save it. My ace is giving me a good peel here, so I'll just go ahead and burst into the enemy Asa. Same deal since I had Shadow Blades back up, although, there we go. I didn't use the Gloom Burst there, but that's okay. It's kind of subjective. For the rest of this, I want to talk about staying alive as Ilanya, because being able to do this tons of damage doesn't matter if you're dead. So with this one here, this is something my team did, is that we chained 2 knockups together. Okay, each time you're knocked up, you're disabled for about a second. You can't do anything. You'll be able to act later, and then you can pounce out of it if you're Asa after you get knocked up and that disable ends. You want to make extensive use of line of sight. Okay, since you're a dot caster, you have Word of Pain, and then you're going into Doom Bolt. Apply your dot, get into cover, go out, hit your Doom Bolt every time your global cooldown's up, and then hide again. Obviously, I'm not listening to that there, and you see why I'm getting owned, because I'm not taking my own advice on that one. But yeah, you see, now I am. But yeah, that's the basics of there. We'll come back to this clip later. Another thing that's good to do is that you can use your knockup to get into line of sight, or out of line of sight, if you're having trouble staying alive. It looks like I'm going to get focused here. You see the Ilanya's on, so I'm going to knock up the Asa, and I'm going to run behind cover. Another thing you can do with your knockup is you can use it to create distance, so you can get away. Like this one here, I'm taking some pretty hard focus. The Asa is leapt at me. I made sure to target her so I don't eat the knockdown from the pounce, use my knockup, and I am away. Also, when I targeted Asa, it stopped the root on her 3, so it was only a snare instead, so I could get away easily. And since I did that, I'm going to be rewarded after running around to make sure that I am safe. I'll rejoin my team, and my Glow Gob will heal me up, and I will be good to go again here soon. Also, when you're out of combat, you do regenerate health at a pretty rapid pace. So that's another tip. If you do get in trouble and you do manage to get away, and you can stay away for a little bit, then you'll heal up even if you don't have a healer. And while you cannot see a target's target in a display on the UI, you can tell who an enemy is targeting just by who they're looking at. If they are locked onto you, they'll be looking at you, and if you move around, you strafe around, their character will turn to face you. So in this one here, one of your biggest threats as Ilanya is Volric. If he pulls you into his team and roots you, you're screwed. You're gonna die, and there's really not much you can do about it unless you get a peel from the rest of your team. So, and I can tell that, and make sure to kill the Volric using a line of sight to go back and forth, confirm that he's got me targeted, and make sure I kill him before he can pull me into his team, and then we'll just clean up the rest of his buddies there. Now, for the record, when you see this one here, I didn't plan to do this. This is an oh crap, I'm gonna die type of reaction here, but this is pretty cool if you can time it perfectly. When that Asa launches herself at you, hits your 4, you can launch her right back. One more time, just for good measure. Sometimes when your elite skills fail you and desperation tactics don't work, sometimes you just gotta rely on good old-fashioned luck. So yeah, this was Tarelther here. Hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you on the battlefields in Wrath of Heroes. Have fun, kick some butt.